This is my comprehensive guide to Ember Spirit, suitable for beginners as well as advanced players. Ember is an extremely mobile hero, strong at pretty much all stages of the game. He has a very high mechanical skill ceiling, which simply makes him very fun to play. Keep an open mind, and I hope you enjoy my guide. This clip will demonstrate the strength of the heavy armor build on Ember, starting off in the same way with Veil and BOT, but then going into Lotus Orb, Blade Mail and Shivas. Notice how I pop a Clarity while I'm regenerating in the fountain to make things a little bit quicker. Now, the majority of the enemy team is dead, but they're about to respawn soon, the only one alive being Rubik. Still, I know that this armor build makes me tanky, so I go in. I pop Shivas and Lotus Orb myself. Most supports have single target disables, so when you Lotus yourself and they try to stun you, they'll stun themselves too. Rubik ends up still escaping because he manages to steal Remnant, which is my mistake, letting him have it. At this point I'm tanking tier 4s with amp damage, I still barely take any damage. Now, TA blinks on me with the Meld Strike. And this is a fairly farm TA at 35 minutes. She has Desolator, Blink, Orchid and Dragonlance, hitting for about 300 damage and applying minus 15 armor. Notice how I barely scratched my HP. This is because the build gives me so much armor that even after the Melt Strike and the Desolator, I'm still sitting at 31 armor. Simply step back a bit and wait for the Lotus Orb to come off cooldown. Keep in mind that Lotus Orb removes not only Slaughter's ult, but also Desolator debuff as well as Meld debuff. Pop Shivas and Blade Mail just go in. Enemies can't really hit me because of Blade Mail, they can't really use spells on me because of Lotus Orb, and they just end up dying to my spells. One of Ember's biggest strengths is being able to clear waves without leaving invulnerability. The following clips show how effective different items are in doing that. As an Ember, you want to skip creep waves without showing yourself. However, in this case, the creeps will be in a line. Mjolnir's damage is not affected because it has a 900 bounce range, but Battle Fury and Daedalus sees a significant drop in effectiveness, even more obvious with Battle Fury. And this clip just shows that the direction in which you're using Sleight of Fist doesn't matter. Versus a hero with 20 armor, the magic build does a lot more DPS, and that's without using Fire Remnants or Mjolnir's active. Naturally, the magic damage build's DPS drops by about 50% against the BKB target, as the Battle Fury Daedalus is unaffected. Versus towers, the Daedalus crit does not work, so their damage ends up being pretty much equal. A great benefit of Yule's Scepter is that it allows you to set up for allies. For example, Mirana's Arrow. Here we see it in action as we use it to kill Anti-Mage. Pugna fails his blast, doesn't matter too much. Yule's into Arrow, to right clicks. I'll notice that as the stun ends, I take a tiny step back before using Searing Chase to make sure Anti-Mage is the only one in the AoE and there is no chance of a creep being there and the Searing Chain's missing. In this game, I was laning against a mid-lone druid. He has no magical damage, so I kept my Flame Guard at level 3 while maxing out Searing Chains earlier. Notice how after leveling to 9, I don't immediately spend my skill point. I then find the SlashStrike and realize that by skilling Sleight of Fist and using it to dodge a stun, I can get a safe kill. In this clip, I'm laning against an 8k Viper. This is a very tough matchup for Ember, to the point where at a certain level you cannot even stay on the lane anymore. This is why it's very important that at the first few levels you get as much as possible, and preferably a quick bottle before you actually end up getting zoned completely. I noticed that the creeps are not affected by his passive, and he's also not using his orb on me. This means he's killed Nether Toxin level 1. So I pop my Flame Guard, run at him, trade some hits, but also make sure that I get 4 out of 4 of the first wave. A little while later, when Viper steps onto my high ground and far away from his tower, I pop Flame Guard and make the same maneuver again. Deal some damage to him, hit him once, but most importantly zone him, and position myself next to the creeps, able to secure the last hits. At this point it's already getting quite difficult, but I only need about 2 to 3 more creeps for my bottle. Here he dives for a kill. Notice how I don't immediately use Fairy Fire, because I noticed that he doesn't actually hit me yet. It's important to save it, because you might even end up baiting him into his death, whereas if you pop it too early, he'll just back off. I shrine up, which gives me the sustain I need to finish my bottle. At this point, my bottle arrives, but I see that the lane is pushing to his high ground, and since I'm not level 6 yet, it is way too risky for me to try and go there and CS, because he can just orb walk me down till I die. In order to not waste my time, I just head into the jungle and farm a camp. Being in the jungle also means that I'm closer to a side lane. In case action happens, I can contribute. Here we see the Legion dive my lone druid. He sees that I'm farming nearby, so he runs towards me. Spirit comes in with a charge, and my Searing Chains secure the kill. Here I see that the lane is still in a terrible position for me, so I immediately look at top lane and see if I can do something else. I start running there, and even though I don't have boots and I'm only level 4, it takes a long time to get there, I still end up participating in a treant kill, which gives me some golden XP, which I will not be able to get on the lane. At this stage, Viper has already messed up the equilibrium and pushed into my tower with 2 range creeps and a catapult. I draw the creeps under the tower where I can farm safely. He still tries to harass me, but the tower will harass him back, and I have protection of the trees on which I can juke. He commits for very deep harass either way, and this puts him in a dangerous position, so my Spear Breaker charges him, and he's forced to back off. We cannot get the kill, of course, because it's a Viper and he's very tanky, but this allows me to get my level 6. And at level 6 I can already do a lot more because the mobility provided by my remnants. I realized that I still cannot really stay on the lane against Viper. I'm not needed on the side lanes, but I also don't want to lose my mid tower. Since I already have my remnant, I just shoot one out in a safe position, and I'm free to go creep skip on the mid lane. By farming between the enemy towers, I'm very far away from all enemy heroes. If they come to try and harass me out, then they're not hitting my towers. I use Flame Guard in the Illusion Room to take out this creep wave. Support Rubik takes out the creep wave at the tower, and now the mid push is stopped. Since I'm here anyway, I farm the enemy jungle camps and use my illusion to pull the next wave into the jungle as well, further slowing down any kind of mid push. Playing around in the enemy jungle creates a lot of space, because if they come to try and harass me out, they're gonna be very far away from any offensive action otherwise. My remnant actually ends up expiring, but I have more available, so escaping from the Viper is easy. This also puts me in a great spot not only to steal the enemy bounty rune, but also backstab the LC on the enemy's safe lane.
Never refuse gold given.
Multiplication ends up in an easy kill. We even get some extra kills to spot out the treants. because I spent all this time away from the mid lane, we do end up losing the tower to Viper. But we get 2 kills and we trade a tower as we get their bottom tier 1. With my team, we just won a fight and killed 3 enemy heroes, and now we're pushing down mid to try and force buybacks. Notice how I don't stay to hit the tower with my measly 150 physical damage, but rather place a remnant and TP to a side lane to make sure that lane also gets pushed in. What this does is that even if we don't get the racks, I create a lot of map control by pushing in the side lanes as well, meaning that for enemy to come out of their base and go for a gank or any kind of play, they have to not only push out mid, but also top. If you don't have a Maelstrom yet, and you want to take out the creep wave quickly, in order to not risk dying, what you can also do is, as you veil Flame Guard and Sleight of Fist the wave, is place another remnant at the wave. Then, click the one in your base on the minimap, and you'll first jump the one you just placed, killing the creep wave and then immediately jumping out. This of course does use up more remnant charges, but it is definitely worth it in order to defend your base and clear out creep waves quickly. This clip, I have a defensive remnant positioned at my bottom secret shop. I want to go for a kill on the AA, but my Flame Guard is still on cooldown. As I jump in with Syrian Chains and Veil, I place 2 remnants and then target the remnant at the secret shop. This means I'll jump first to the 2 remnants closest to me, killing the AA, and then immediately jumping out to safety. This is a good method for getting kills in dangerous places of the map with very little risk of dying. Some players will try to predict your movement as an Ember. This clip shows how to punish that. The enemies have a ward on the mid lane, so they actually see me place my defensive remnant at the tower. When OD sets me up with Astral Imprisonment, Pudge runs in with Rot. Now this is a level 5 Pudge, which means his hook is level 3. Notice how he positions himself in front of me, between me and the tower. He assumes that I'm immediately gonna jump to my defensive remnant, so he already starts running towards the tower, so that he can be in time for the hook. However, by doing this, he allows me to go for the following play.
Your place is here. A gift from the tempest of battle. Discover what lies beyond.
What Pudge did was not necessarily a mistake, it was the only way they had a chance to kill me. However, being out of rot range allowed me to simply chase down the OD and get a free kill on him. Pudge tried to come in and help, but it was too late, and then I was able to still escape and also get a kill first. This clip is a great example of pushing Ember's survivability to the limits, creating space and opportunities for your team. I initiate on this lone druid. Now I only have 1 remnant available and he's quite tanky. Furthermore, he's right next to his tier 2 tower, with Shaker respawning soon. I have virtually no chance of killing him, but by using a little bit of mana, I can still deal some serious damage, not risk dying, and force reactions from his team. Let's watch what happens next. He starts chasing me, trying to force me to back off. Keep using Sleight of Fist to stay invulnerable, step back a bit and chain him. Now here, while he's rooted, I stand close enough for my Flame Guard to deal damage, but not close enough for him to attack me. This way I ensure I don't take too much damage. Now Earthshaker comes in, as well as Anti-Mage. And I see Disruptor too. At this point, I need to be careful. I use my last remnant to get out, although I have a new one available soon. They keep chasing me. At this point I've created so much space that my Slark is able to come in and get a free lone druid kill. Here I get glimpsed, and I don't want to waste my remnant cooldown, so I just use level 4 Sleight of Fist to dodge it. Slark does end up dying, but that's his mistake. As long as I still have mana and cooldowns available, I can keep baiting them while not risking really dying. Again, there are 3 heroes and I have no chance of killing them, but I know that my team should arrive soon.
Surprise is mine.
I could have immediately escaped with the Remnant when my Slark died, but if I did that, then they wouldn't have 3 heroes chasing me in the river, and my meeple wouldn't eventually get a team wipe. That's it guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to check out the text version of the guide if you haven't already.